One of the things I did is in October of 2017 is I started looking for some online, Facebook support groups. And because I knew that there had to be other people, because I felt so alone and very, very isolated. And I did find a group. I ended up being asked by the creator of that group is to help lead. And then because I did do so much research, because I did understand the disease and I knew how to speak the language of the disease. And so became a leader within the group, wrote articles that could help others. And I there was fulfillment in that, of being a part of that. I started a group for fatty liver that was a connection to that. And then also I started a nutrition group because people didn't understand the very basics of reading a label, of how to shop, of how to cook, as healthy foods. Don't go to the drive-through, just those kinds of things. It was very back to basics, those things that and you understand, but you sometimes forget. And so that was all a part of the support group. And I found a group of people that understood the language I was speaking, the concerns. I could yell as I typed, and I would say, I'm frustrated, or I'm scared, or I'm angry. And those were good. And the basis and understanding of that is that there is life. That despite having this disease that changes your life, is you can take those moments and live them to the fullest and completely approach and hold on to life. There's a phrase that I use is, I choose joy. So every morning when I wake up is, I choose joy. I get to choose how I'm going to feel that day. Now, are there days that I go, this is crummy, and I'm over, I'm done? Yeah, most definitely. And then I go take a shower and I have my cry. And when the hot water runs out, then I get out and the tears are gone. But I've had to learn how to do that. I have to say, okay, my tears have been given to me as an outlet. I need to be able to use those. One of the things that happened is that when I got the notice that I had been approved for the transplant list, I thought I was going to feel relief, but instead what I felt was angry, and I didn't understand it. And here I thought I was going to be ecstatic, I thought I was going to be excited, but no, I was angry. And honestly, I was a little bit ashamed because I was angry. And so I had some friends. We have had an admins group, and several of the people in there had already had transplants. And so I said, this is kind of strange, and I don't know if this is normal or not. I said, but I'm really angry right now, and I don't understand why. And having these other dear friends who've already gone through what I have now gone through, they said, oh yeah, that happened to me too. And just knowing that I wasn't losing my mind, that it was a normal part of the process, it gave me relief. I wasn't ashamed of it. I understood that it was overwhelming. And it's okay to feel angry. It's okay to feel fearful at times, and just search for answers and to reach out and have people that understand what you're going through. That makes a huge difference. In January of 2019, I found myself facing depression. And I reached out to my doctor. So I have a doctor that I can text or message, and he'll get back to me very quickly. And I said, I am in a dark place and I need help. And he says, okay. He says, I'm sending a prescription over. He knows me so well that he knows that I'm going to, when I say this, that it is this. And so he sent a prescription over and sent a referral, a recommendation to go ahead and do counseling. So at the same time that I did, so I had medication. I had somebody that I was counseling with online. And I also had a life coach that was connected to that. And so the three things together got me through a very hard, difficult time so that I could go ahead. I knew that if I waited, that it was going to be harder. And so I went ahead and stayed true. Another guy is another reporter I think in North Carolina. He says, my mom was just diagnosed with NASH cirrhosis. And to hear you speak and to have so much hope for your future, he said, that gives me hope to be able to go on. And so that's truly, as I can tell you, that's what makes me want to continue being an advocate, is that there's people that need to hear the stories. But more than that is I love the possibility of training up and encouraging advocates, because everybody has a story. Everybody's story is different. And when you hear a story, then you know that you're not alone. I can't tell you how many people that I have heard over time is that say, I'm not alone. And that is so important. It's important to talk to our congressmen about some of the legislation that's coming through. Then maybe a person says, well, I can't do that. I don't want to talk to my senators, or I don't want to talk to the FDA, or I can't see myself speaking in front of groups. But you can speak to your family. You can advocate for your family, or for your friends, or for your neighborhood, where you're at. Because when we have enough voices out there that are speaking their story, then guess what? There's more understanding, and that's what's huge. I didn't hear anybody's story before I was diagnosed. I didn't understand. And I went looking for stories. I went looking for understanding. I can tell you that there's really a lot of bad information out there. But when somebody says, this is my story, that's truth. That is honest truth. And it's worth speaking about, because people need to hear it. I can tell you right now is that the stigma of cirrhosis has changed. The language is changing. There is a greater awareness, and it's because of programs and stuff like this that make that possible. But as far as with the medical community, that's one of the reasons why I do advocate, is within the medical community, within the pharmaceutical community, is making sure that they do understand that there is a face and a voice that they can hear, and it says, look, this is a real disease. Live. Continue to live, and do things away from your cancer. Don't own it. Don't call it my cancer. It is a cancer that's in your body. It's invaded. That is the truth, but you don't have to own it. But in the midst of that, there's still going to be those days that you need to live. Go to the birthday parties. Go celebrate your anniversaries. Do the vacations. Do the movie nights. Live. Because there is hope. There is treatment. And even if your liver cancer is so far advanced that there isn't, then you still live. Do your best to get up and go. And I can tell you the easiest way to live is to actually think about somebody else. Because when you give of yourself to somebody else, then there's something precious that happens.